Good evening, Speed Gaming 4, and welcome to the Link to the Past Randomizer main tourney. We got Group A action tonight. This is the first game of part of Group A between BigDunka and Kazen. I'm Radical Sniper 99 tonight, joined by Mocha Jones. How are you doing tonight?
Man, I am feeling good. I'm ready for this match between BigDunka and Kaesden. We got us some keys tonight. I'm so excited to see this. And with it being tourney, we changed some things. We just made it to where, Ganon's Tower, Agate Tower, we'll just put keys in there. They'll just have to find all the rest of them.
Well, and the big stipulation on that, of course, is that while the Ganon's Tower big key is in Ganon's Tower, the GT small keys are still out in the wild, so you definitely want to find at least one of them or two of them before you get in there.
Yeah, you don't want to be trapped on the first floor. But this is their first match, so I'm excited to see who's going to pull away in this Group A bracket.
Yeah, so what's going to happen here is we've got each of our runners. So this Group A, we've got BigDunka and Kaesden. We also have, I believe it's Wall Kicks and Chelsea X-Lin in that group as well. And so the four of them are going to play each other. They'll play each other at least 2 times each for a total of 6 games. And the top 2 runners out of that play will move on into the bracket stage. So both of our runners starting off at Sanctuary. I believe Kaesden's working towards a group or a tier 2 or 3 early, while Dunka is really just looking for that tier 1.
Yeah, I think so. Also, possibly farming bombs, because they did get Power Gloves as their first item. So it could also be trying to farm, see if the guards have bombs, and just go to the back of escape, and there's a bomb right there.
Yeah, nice little find there for Kaesden. Especially given the fact that tier 1 and our bush crab's not helping this time.
And as far as I know, we're not planning on going to Agate Tower because it's just $50 on the Lumberjack ledge.
Yeah, there's definitely an increased chance of needing Aga because of the vanilla keys, but it's still not very likely. An important thing to keep in mind, of course, is that for anybody who saw a lot of our qualifier races, this is not going to work with the modified item pool. Dunka getting that small key to Skull Woods out of Lost Woods and deciding to pull a save and quit.
We are going to see what this map is too, as Kaesden does get it. It's a map to pod, so we will at least know what pod is whenever we get into the Dark World, because we need the maps to know, hey, what is this? Is this a crystal? Is it dependent? Because we don't know.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I know Kaesden was in the 80 keys tourney that recently finished up. So we do not have to do all the dungeons today. You just got to beat 7 crystals, beat Agate 2, and beat Ganon.
Yeah, and we see Dunka. He did save and quit and go back to Link's house and went south of Grove and got some bombs from there. So our players got plenty of bombs right now. Even though Kaesden does have one, Kaesden can go down to the South Hut and just bomb and get some more. But does not look like he's doing that.
Nope, he's going to play for broke on this one. So Dunka's showing a little bit of knowledge with that, though. The 50-50 South of Grove, as well as the Link's House Rock, both giving us that opportunity for bomb drops. And he took full advantage of that, getting a 50-50 on all 3 of them. But Kaesden giving us Blind's Hut. Does get the big key to Skull Woods and a little bit of money and a map to Swamp. So another one of those maps to help us figure out the game.
Yeah, so far no bombs though. We didn't see that there was a cape on the library, so possibly could have that. Depends on what the what bumper ledge holds for us today.
As we do get another map out of Chicken Hut, this time for Mire. So we're getting the good maps here at least. Or at least the ones we're interested in. Kazen is going to risk a drop into the well here without any bombs. hoping for at least some kind of bomb drop. Bombos medallion, a heart container, some arrows, and a heart piece. So no bombs for Kaesden. We'll see how he decides to contend with this. He did get up to no, he didn't even get up to 100 rupees yet. So I'm guessing he's heading towards the shop.
Yeah, I would guess. At least check the back of tavern first.
Yeah, meanwhile, Dunka going after that bombable hut, loading up on bombs.
So the early games, and this is going to be very interesting because our knowledge right now is so very limited because we don't know what is a crystal, what's a pendant. We don't even know if we'll be able to clear much of anything. But it does mean that theoretically, Eastern does have a whole lot more items than normal.
As we do get the pod big key out of the back of the Kakariko well, so not a terrible find to get at this point. Does give us some options later. Of course, pod's going to have a lot of items, and really at this point, you're hoping for some keys, but really you want something for offense. Bombs are not your favorite.
Yeah, I can't even use bomb bush yet either because, well, no sword.
Now, of course, the only issue here is Kazen's going to be down 20 rupees for doing Bottle Vendor. We'll see how he plays this one. Because Dunka's going to finish up here, and I think he's going to get enough money for Bottle Vendor out of Blind's Hut.
Yeah, it costs us 50 bucks here, right here.
And Kazen's going to do another loop of Cackwell to get himself up to the 100. So Dunka's early route going after those 50-50s and hitting the bombable hut, paying off a little bit better. Unfortunately, Bottle Merchant really not helping us today.
No, giving us just a rock to carry around with us.
Yeah, those compasses, they're interesting. They do help you if you're a newer runner, but when you're in the top 128 of main tourney, I think you count your chests on your own a bit more.
Now, if this were another mode that is also available to our runners, that would be very helpful. And yeah, I'm talking about boss shuffle.
Yes, the Mick Boss, or the MC Boss Shuffle, those compasses will tell you the boss of the dungeon. Dunka giving us the back of escape, though, gets the Eastern Compass, and the Mire Compass, and 300 rupees. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say 300 rupees is the best thing we got all of escape.
I mean, we did get gloves, so gloves was in Sank.
Oh, I guess that does technically count as an escape
item. It technically counts as an escape item.
So Kazen does pick up that 20 at this point, hoping for a little bit of money to start kickstarting the rest of his plays. Gonna get that rupee out of Link's house, and we'll see where we're going from there. So he's going to head to South Shore as well, following Dunka's footsteps. I believe we got a map of Eastern Palace.
We did get a map to Eastern, which will give us something, at least some kind of knowledge if we do get some kind of map check here soon.
Yeah, and I know I personally run with Kazen a lot. He was on my league team, or he's a league teammate. And one of the things he and I had talked a lot about was, do you make a play for a Gina here in a mode? And it looks like Dunka's gonna make that play. We'll see if Kaesden does the same.
Yeah, typically, if this were a normal non-key mode, I would say just wait till you get Flute. But we also are looking for keys now, so I would say that's another place where we can have a key.
Yeah, and I think part of it is that you almost feel like, hey, if I make this call to go over to Agina, and it has something, I've given myself a bit of an advantage. And in this case, both runners saying, I'm going to Agina, and neither really taking a lead off of it. We do get a small key to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I was going to say, also in Kasen's case, we do see exactly what's getting ready to say, hey, you can farm rupees right now.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't put too much stock into farming here. I'm hoping this is just one. It is. This might be thinking, okay, I'm gonna have 6 bombs after Agina. I probably do back of escape, leaving me with 5. 5 bombs is not comfy for the front of escape or mini Moldorm cave. It's good enough for front of escape. Personally, I like Dunka's heading into mini Moldorm at 5. This can be a rough room to do. But Dunka getting the first mini Moldorm down very nicely. And that's why, because Dunka getting frame ruled by that one throw, and now he's got to be perfect on this last bomb. But gets it done nicely.
Yeah. Altitude values and bombs do count.
Yeah,
so
they
if
are.
it ever explodes in the air, you get nothing. But
Yeah,
we
it can
did get a
really
hammer.
mess with it. Yep, and there's another 300 rupees. So very quickly, we've got all the money we need for at least a little while. And I'm wondering, okay, Dunka does not have a bomb. Ooh, leaves behind that full magic decanter. Okay, so Dunka's going for fake flippering at this point. I was about to say, can't get to Ice Rod Cave.
Kaesden have a little bit better time with these mini Moldorms.
Yeah, Kazen's going to get out of there still with 3 bombs. Really nice. So instead for Dunka, we're going to get to see the our friend under the bridge. We'll see if we get anything off of this. Of course, this is out of logic without the flippers, but when does that stop us?
What do you mean? Ultos can totally swim without flippers.
Oh, is that... Oh, I forgot. It's sprite dependent now. And it looks like Dunka is going to continue from there. This might be a Zora check. We can't do the waterfall without the pearls, so... But technically, Zora's in logic.
Technically, yes. I do want to point out that Kaesden did get a bomb drop from the pickle.
So there was a chance for Dunka to get that bomb if he wanted to.
There was a chance. And these crabs are not being nice to Kaesden.
No, they are not trying to give him a window to get in the Ice Rod Cave. He does survive, though, luckily. And Dunka gets out of the water there. As Kazen finds the shovel, this could be an early advantage, depending on what's here. Gotta be honest, going to Ice Rod Cave without boots or flute is a terribly long time.
Yeah, but we're going to see right now what's going to be hiding under the dirt here in just a second for Kaesden, as Dunka is heading to see if we're going to get scammed or not.
Yeah, luckily the money's been pretty generous, so not too many worries. Dunka will still have over 140, and there's our pearl. Wow. And there's more money.
Well, Zora required today.
Yeah, luckily Kazen will pretty much be funneled to that, so shouldn't cause too much trouble. But I don't know when he heads to Zora at this point. That's a rough one to get to, especially knowing it's going to be a one-off.
So we have our first foray into Dark World with Dunka heading in at about 12:30.
Yeah. The big question here is, do flippers show up? You know, of course we've seen the back of Escape. It's just those $300 and the 2 compasses. But if you want to see Kazen get those flippers or that pearl sooner, you're hoping for flippers early.
Yeah, I do want to note Dunka did just check to see what the 5-6 crystal were. It was Pod in Thieves Town.
That's a pretty light set of 5-6 crystals, and on the plus side, that means Aga 1 is completely dead for this seed. What we know is that the hammer can, or, well, we already have hammer. Duh. Oh, and there's a tree pull from Kaesden, getting some 20s, and we do get a bow out of Hype Cave.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10 just for the bow.
Yeah, we need one. We got one of them.
And it does look like Duncan is heading to Pod. I wonder if we'll make it stop at Pyramid first.
Well, I wonder if this is going to be a full play to the Pyramid or just a play to Pyramid and Catfish. We don't really have many options in Palace of Darkness. We got no small keys yet.
Yeah, we also don't have money, so definitely a Pyramid play.
Yeah. Kazen is going to give us front of escape. If there's any, like, you know, Dunka finding early Dark World is an advantage, but Kazen could easily make up for it with something here in escape. Just a piece of heart, though, on top of the Pyramid.
Yeah, we are not going to see that picked up today, unless
Definitely
unless you have 3 pieces of heart. I doubt we'll see that.
Yeah, if I'm on 3 pieces of heart and like maybe 1 heart, you know, I might do it just because I know it's a quick refill. But other than that, yeah, I'm not going for it. So Dunka over to Catfish. Kaesden working through this front of escape now. Both giving us great work here with their hammer. Small key to Pod over in escape for Kaesden.
Oh, that's a good find, especially since we know that it is a crystal. Now, here's a question: do we see what, like, if it turns out that we hit go mode before we enter Pod? Do we see a go mode Pod?
I mean, I don't hate the idea. It's just Pod can lock so much. And that specific piece in being a 5/6 means it could be locking even more. So I'm doubtful we'll be in go mode at that point, but it really is a question of, you know, what are our crystals and pendants?
Yeah, no one's given us a map check to see what anything else is today, so we're going to be pretty in the dark right now.
Yeah,
we probably
given how many of the maps we've already found, I'm surprised. But we get that green pendant info, and it is Hera.
I don't hate Hera being green.
No, it's definitely one of our quickest pendant possibilities if you're going for it.
Ooh, and looks like it's a pendant for Eastern as well.
Yes.
So looks like we'll be doing some exploration in here, but not really aiming to clear it. Dunka may? Nope, Dunka can't. No, none of our runners can clear it right now. But we can at least see what some of the items are.
Yeah, I'm definitely a little bit surprised by this play. It makes sense for Kazen. He's running out of great checks to find his pearl, his next step of progression. Whereas Dunka is, you know, Dunka's got the whole Dark World, and I feel like West Dark World would have been the play for him.
Or, just get a sword in the first chest in Eastern.
Sure.
So now, Duncan could go to the Village of Outcasts and actually clear out Thieves Sound once we get a big key for it.
Well, we can clear it. How much do you want to go clear something without a small key? That's the other piece that I feel has been the scary thought.
That's very true. Also, we did just get the small key to Hera.
We did.
So that's kind of scary having it this early, but that's something that can probably be put in the back of the head.
So still no flippers yet. But for Kaesden, I think after this, is Zora really the last thing he has left anyway?
I mean, we can go up the mountain out of logic, but I believe so.
Yeah, but that one at least is a bit out of logic with very limited info or checks available.
So yeah, the next play for Kasen should be going to Zora.
But I honestly, when you say the Death Mountain play, I wouldn't be shocked if he sets that up and gets that save point.
Kasen on Dunkus Hill, getting out of this dark room, seeing what the big key chest holds, and it holds a compass and TR. So more trash in here.
How many compasses are we up to? Are we up to like a half dozen of those already?
Well, I'll tell you, they won't be lost this seed.
No, they will not. Dunka continuing to make plays. I saw in chat some speculation that, Dunka kind of just checking off the boxes that probably figures his opponent would have done, and not wrong. Kaesden missing that pearl off of Zora, so hitting Eastern, Saha, front of Hyrule Castle, and Dunka saying, I think I got lucky with the pearl find. Let's see if my opponent maybe found something.
Which we know is the correct answer. Ooh, first try for Kasen going to the fake flipper.
Yeah, there's a really straightforward setup for that one, and knowing Kaesden having put in his own time into NMG, he's got that one set up for himself. Maybe not the fastest way to Zora, but given his desire to hit at least one extra check with the bridge here, I don't blame him for going to South Shore.
Yeah, I don't blame him either. Fake flipper out. See that there is a heart on the island, and then just go get your moon pearl.
Yeah, there's a good reason to go down to South Shore, even though it takes longer. That Hylia Island check, the play for the bridge, like those are two that really can benefit you just from knowledge and time. And Kaesden just working around that to find a good spot.
Okay, making sure Kasen did not go in. But Kasen is about to be rewarded with the moon pearl, and we'll head to the dark world. We'll see if Kasen will do the same thing as Dunka, take the portal that's under Link's house, and figure out what the 5-6 crystals are.
Yeah, I think he'll get Hype Cave. I think he'll talk to the Big Bomb vendor. But after that, I don't know if he goes up to Catfish. I think I would put more on Kazen going to Stumpy and Dig Game.
Dunka setting up a Death Warp. I think we're about to see Dark Cross.
Yeah, having that sword makes it a lot easier to navigate it, and yep, he feels comfortable with that. I'm not surprised Kaesden didn't. Having only a hammer really for guidance is not easy. So Kaesden, going with the safe play, saying, I'm not going to risk it. I don't feel like it's worth my time. Dunka saying, I've got something. I got a sparkly sword.
Yeah, that sparkly sword can come in real handy. Especially having a boomerang just in this next room, just boomeranging the ropes. Not even worry about them very much.
There we go. Dunka through that room as Kazen is about to hit that Hype Cave and get his bow. And Dunka just getting a map to Hyrule Castle. Ouch. Not even a good map.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
So Dunka gonna be heading for Village of Outcasts from the north. Kaesden, on the other hand, we're gonna get, I think this, yep, here we go, big bomb check. So he'll get his crystal information for Pod and Thieves.
And then we're heading west or east. We are heading west. So we have almost evened out. Of course, we know that Duncan did head on the Pyramid of Catfish. That's where Duncan got that boomerang. But we have Kason heading and getting the big key to Thieves right before we head into Thieves.
Wow, so that could be that's going to be a possible divergence at this point. I don't know if Kazen's going to try to full clear Thieves, but he could feel like taking a risk tonight.
Yeah, it depends on if we get those mitts from here. Okay, we have more crystal information. It looked like Swamp was a crystal.
Yeah, we also saw that Mire's our last pendant. So there we go. And oh
Flute!
my gosh, the flute off a dig game.
Save and quit, and we're heading back to activate that flute, and then the world's open for Kason almost. Almost.
This is going to be really convenient for Kazen. Activating the flute. Got a chance to beat Thieves Town. Dunka, though, giving us that front of skull, or the middle of skull first. Just waiting for the Gibdos to kind of play a little bit nicer. And what do we get out of the middle here? But
a French vanilla fire rod. Are
awesome.
you kidding me?
That's a great one. I feel like we hear so much about, front of Skull Woods, having items and keys, you gotta dip it. Tonight it's true. You just had to do it.
And you know what? We can clear Skull Woods right now. Given we have a fighter sword, green mail, and 6 hearts. We can still clear Skull Wood.
I mean, we've got the big key as well, so this is a fully clearable dungeon. So, we were really making a big deal about Kazen making some plays here. Dunka returning with, that fire rod quickly. We'll see if Kazen checks the front of Skull. I know he's talked a lot about it. He does like to check. He's got a small key. So I gotta believe he's gonna make this. Nope, I'm wrong. Maybe this is gonna be Thieves Town north to Skull.
I would imagine so, especially since Kason does have that big key to Skull. We do know that it is a crystal. The only downside if we do it now is that we do not have that small key yet. Oh, wait, no, we don't have a small key yet.
Yeah, and I think for Dunka, I see the desire here. Dunka's saying, I've got to hit Dig Game and Stumpy. I didn't get a chance to do them before, so let me hit Skull south, whereas Kazen's going, I've done the south, let me go Thieves Town north. So I think for each of them, this is the most sensical play. It's a question, as always, who hits the item that makes things better? Does Kazen get a sword to make Moth easier? Does Dunka find the Thieves Town small key?
Even an armor would help in this case.
Yeah.
As we do have Dunka on that Moth fight with 6 hearts and green mail.
Yeah, Dunka playing it really conservative with his fire rod shots. He's got quite a bit, but man, he's eating spike hits left and right now, unfortunately. Now in Oko territory.
I do want to say that Kason did find half magic.
And Dunka gets through it. Nicely done.
Yeah, but I was going to say, I'd rather get hit by the spikes than by Moth himself.
Yes. So yeah, half magic you mentioned out of Thieves Town, really good find for Kaesden. Gonna make that moth fight just the littlest bit more comfy.
So we have what? Four more items in Skull.
5.
5. I missed the middle chest in my head.
And Kazen is gonna full clear or clear as much of Thieves Town as possible here.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, Kazen playing a little bit risky here, hoping there's nothing in the Thieves Town big chest.
So far, nothing in the front that we can see right now. Duncan will did remind me.
Did Dunka skip a key somewhere?
Duncan didn't get the Gipto key.
Okay.
So I'm trying to remember if he will get a key in one of these chests.
We haven't seen this. No, that's a cross keys only feature.
Cross keys only. That's what I was thinking.
Yep. So unless he gets a key in one of these two chests, he should be locked as we get the book.
And Master Sword for Kazen in the attic.
Getting some nice convenience for that upcoming moth as Dunka finds our Swamp Palace small key.
Yes, and immediately has to save and quit out. But
Yeah,
that's the risk, but that's also a huge find.
Yeah, good find for Dunka for sure. Just an unfortunate having to save and quit in this situation. And I think the bigger problem here is that, it also means that if Dunka didn't have to, he was going to be able to get Flute, and on the return trip to CAC, get that Flute activation. Now he's coming back to CAC for VOO, going south, and then it's going to have to come back to CAC again for Flute activation. So there's a little bit of a disadvantage in this routing for him, and that's unfortunate.
And we have a Kane of Samaria.
And that is going to further incentivize Kazen's return or heading up to Skull Woods. That middle chest of Skull now is so much easier for him to get.
I mean, having that sword in general makes Skull Woods.
Yeah, I mean, between a Master Sword, a half magic, and a Cane of Samara, you're doing the front of Skull Woods. Like, that's easy checks now.
Now, I wonder if we'll see one of our runners head over to see what is on Lumberjack Ledge. Because we do know... not Lumberjack Ledge, Bumper Ledge, because we do know where the cape is.
So, then the question, Mocha, given what we've seen, where do you head next? Oh, scary fight there for Kazen as well on blind, but does get that boss kill. And there's Titan's Mitts.
I may say Mire area. With that, I may say Mire area.
I was going to say, given the book and the desert small key, I have a sneaking suspicion that something's in desert right now.
But we do not see Kazen. Oh, we have hammer pegs. We have a smith chain that we could follow right now.
Yeah, and Kazen having the flute probably saying, I don't have to rush Skull right now. So I don't disagree with this play from him, saying, I'm going to get the smith, I've got a flute activated, let me do hammer pegs. If I get Mire, great, I'll continue with the chain. If not, I'll turn in the smith, and I can do Skull maybe after this.
Yeah, especially having that, the Titan Smith now makes it a little bit easier to get into that CAC portal.
Ooh, and Dunka deciding to... Yep, he's going for the Death Warp, so he is not going to finish out Thieves Town, which means he'll be at a slight disadvantage for the Titans Mitts for a little bit.
Titans Mitts and Kane, because both of those are in the top of Thieves Town. Ooh, that's right. Duncan does not have the big key.
Good point.
Because that was south.
Yeah, so doesn't even have the option. We'll see how he approaches the Thieves Town play after this. And the Smith has our second medallion in Quake.
I mean, they're making the room quake enough with their hammering, so.
Kazen giving us a look at the Desert Ledge, just 50 rupees today.
Yeah, and then doing what I was suggesting, go ahead and hitting that Mire portal to check the Mire shed.
Yeah, just going to be able to tell us what medallion we would need for Mire. Kazen's still unaware of what medallion it is, or that it is a pendant, more so. But I believe that was Quake.
It was indeed Quake. And theoretically, we could full clear it.
We can't get in.
But we cannot. No. Oh, there's flippers.
And a small key to pod.
That makes 2, I believe.
I think that's Kazen's first.
Is that Kazen's first? So that's 2 that we have knowledge of.
Yeah, and Kazen going for the map checks, wants to see, check some of those maps, finds out Mire and Swamp, at least for now.
So is Kazen heading into Skull now?
I have to believe so. Like, he geared up the hearts. I gotta think he's looking at it like, let me do the front of Skull. Or not. He's gonna dip pod.
That's a call.
Yeah, I'm surprised by this one, honestly.
I think Kazen's just gonna go straight to the back.
Yeah.
It's 5-6. I have a feeling that we're going straight to the back of pod.
Straight to the back or straight to Helma?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Straight to Helma.
Okay.
And now that we have all the rupees in the seed, we don't have to worry about Kiki the Extortionist.
Yeah, not at all. And here's that play from Dunka. This time having the bombs going back for Ice Rod Cave. We know this is just shovel for 300 rupees. But for Dunka, that's a thread that he left behind and really wants to clean up. But on Kazen's side, we're getting the new info with the Palace of Darkness play. Just a blue rupee there. Oh, Kazen actually has 2 keys. My bad.
Yep. He has 2, can just walk in, say hi to the middle section, and go. Nope, he's taking the bomb route. Or the Bowlock side.
Yeah, and I like this play. If he has a decision on, wants to go beat Helma, I think this is the safe play. Saying I'm just gonna, use Bombos by accident.
Bombos, not bombs, not Bombos, Kaesden. But we are going to get to see Waterfall, which we know is in logic now, but nothing really there.
So, oh my god.
Mire!
Wow, the plays for Kazen right now are just continuing to hit. Like, he's just hit. These spots are just one after another the right call right now. And I mean, that's not even locked by a key, to be clear. Like, that is in logic because of our bow. And meanwhile, Dunka heading to Desert Palace. So we'll see what we can find here, as Kazen's going to give us a pretty dicey pod basement, 6 hearts, green mail.
Yeah. The turtle room, the 6 terrapin room, that's going to be the real deciding factor in all of this. Kazen, I believe, can navigate this pretty well. Went in front of Skull, can just fire a right shot and see. But it's not a bad turtle room. As long as you hammer, get him down. He's got the medallions to actually take out some turtles.
Yeah, and I know Kazen's put in the time on this room, so I think he feels pretty comfortable with it. So here we go, has the sword out. I mean, there you go, 4 down already, and he's going to bombos the ending. He knows he's got all the turtles taken care of. There you go. That's muscle
6
memory. That is 6 turtles killed. That is purely the muscle memory there that just builds up over time. He knew he had them all flipped. And there's another pod key for BigDunka out of Desert Palace. Kaesden at 4 hearts entering the Helma fight. Gonna have to be a little careful with this one.
Not doing the spin speed setup, I see. But
well, we don't got boots.
That's also true. I'm so used to having boots so early. Right? It's like, what is this thing with not having boots?
So Kazen's playing this very cautiously.
Very nice.
Does take down Helmasaur. Very nice kill.
We do have Dunk up on the mountain, it looks like. And that's a big key to Mire.
And Kazen getting his 2nd crystal, so Kazen up 2-1 in the crystal department right now.
So I'm gonna play conspiracy theory for real quick. Kazen now has Mire. That gives him mountain access, which takes him further away from Skullwoods.
I don't disagree, honestly. As much as I would want to see Kazen go there, because, that's definitely a great call. I agree. I gotta believe he's going to play mountain at this point with that mirror. That mirror is in logic.
Yes, it is. In Kazen not finding anything in the middle front, Mire now going to Mire again, and then we'll see that Flute come out and probably go to 1. Nope. I am wrong. Flute into Link's house.
Oh, this is going to be Big Bomb and Pyramid Fairy.
That is true.
Yeah, no, he played for the 2-5-6s, given how early they were. Just from an analytic standpoint on why Kaesden went for those 2 middle checks and decided to avoid the back of Palace of Darkness, while he could have done extra laps of Bowlock side to get those, they are just that slow, and that only at that point the first 2 chests were in logic. So I think that's kind of Kaesden's thought is, I don't want to spend a ton of time doing that loop over and over again, even with the mirror.
Yeah, especially not having boots, that just makes it even more slower.
Yeah, so I understand why a lot of people might make the extra loops, but the time required and the investment, if it doesn't pay off, it feels extra bad.
We do have Duncan back in Thieves Town. Will be rewarded with a sword and the Canis of Maria.
Yeah, and both Kaesden and Dunka aren't going to realize it, but they both went for this clear, and in that case, if there's something in the big chest, they're both going to have to go back. But Pyramid Fairy gives us a map to GT and $20, so it is not Pyramid Fairy.
This is not the chest you're looking for.
And now do we see the mountain from Kaesden, or are we going to see that Skull Woods play finally? We're going to see desert.
Yep. We're going to see a desert.
And I think part of this could just be Kazen saying, can I get a fire rod and an ice rod before the mountain? Can I get a hookshot? Can I get boots? Just one of those tools to make the mountain that much nicer.
We are also going to see Checkerboard Cave, which Duncan could not check at the time.
Yeah, I mean, Dunka still hasn't been able to check the shed, so... But Dunka finding all these nice little tricks, or these extra goodies for what would have been helpful on the Moth.
I think that was our, fourth 300 rupee pack?
I believe so. And here we go, Kazen onto the mountain now.
Which Kazen will be able to clear majority of both light and dark death mountain, having those Titan Smiths. Does not have a hookshot, does not have boots, so can't really check Checkerboard Cave, but we'll get some knowledge with Kazen up here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of items to still be able to get. Paradox Cave, Super Bunny, be able to check at least some of Tower of Hera.
However, not having that book, we're not going to see what is on the tablet up here.
Yeah, Ether Tablet's going to be left behind for Kazen for a bit. Unfortunately, that was one of our front of skull items. Just looking at how things are starting to play out, we know that those mitts are still behind the Thieves Town small key. Neither runner had it, but knowing Book and Mirror are available, the tablets, East Death Mountain, there's a lot of locations that key could have been. So it's a question of, when does Dunka go to pod for that mirror? Especially given just how valuable that those mitts are. For Dunka at this point, I believe we're going to get the Mire Shed play. He'll get the flippers. Does he play for broke and just continue to try to clear crystals? Because there's ice. And first chest in Hera is a potion.
Yes, I was just about to say ice, because that is a play that can be made.
Kaesden opens the door to the basement and then realizes, wait a minute, I don't have fire. Let me get out of here.
Luckily, having that mirror can just mirror out and go and check all the other stuff here.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get that floating island check for a small key, and Kazen is going to go down the spiral cave.
Yeah, not surprised at this. I was wondering if he'll go down spiral or would go ahead and open up the TR portal just to see what is TR, because we can open that right now.
Well, I think part of this could also be, don't want to get yourself stuck with the question of, do I go up to, do I go down Spiral Cave or do I go to Spike Cave? And in this case, Kazen saying, if I just do Spiral now, I don't have to question myself on that. I can do either, or I can do both. Of course, we're still missing an item to do Spike Cave, but he might be anticipating finding one soon.
Duncan getting his quake. Oh.
And Dunka heading back for Village of Outcasts, it looks like, might be playing for purple chests at this point.
purple chest, or maybe seeing what is on. No, I wouldn't yet until boots. But is Dunka going to purple? Looking like it.
That's the only thing I can believe he'd be doing to head back into VOO. Meanwhile, Kaesden in Paradox 5, we haven't really gotten anything on the Death Mountain yet. A small key too, pod, okay. But yeah, Death Mountain really not providing anything at this point. I think our tablet has our Thieves Town. A tablet has a Thieves Town small. Because honestly, at this point, it's probably Ether tablet or Bombo's tablet,
Or the front of the swamp. Because what front of swamp is technically in logic.
Ooh, there's our tempered sword off of the purple chest. Actually, with the flippers locked behind the mitts, it's
that
not
is
available.
true.
So
That is indeed true.
Kazen finding the big key to Eastern Palace there. So yeah, in terms of what each of our runners needs to do, Dunka will need to hit pod soon. Kaesden, on the other hand, is going to be looking at needing to hit Skull Woods. Kaesden finding out, hey, Bombos for Turtle Rock, so we've already got both of our medallions. Going to check out the floating island, though, first. We do know that is a small key.
Oh, here's that swamp, or that,
Yep, there's
the ice play that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and this makes sense. I don't have any question about why Dunka would make this play, and same, whatever Kazen chooses at this point. And it looks like Kazen's going to give us, sick kid in the skull, maybe?
Maybe? I wouldn't. I mean, I would not go to pot. I go to Skull Woods at this point.
Yeah, that's probably Kazen's densest location, unless he's thinking ice as well.
Yep, it does look like that.
And he's thinking ice.
We do know that this is not a rule of fire situation here. Oh, okay. So Kazen is going to go check Waterfall before heading in there.
Yeah, this could just be Waterfall Ferry. In terms of logical checks for Ice Palace at this point, no big key and a small key, I believe, does technically mean this right side play could be in logic, as well as Ice Tea. So there are 3-4 checks in logic, maybe even 5. The ones not, like Big Chest, of course, and Cold Stare are the 2. But the rest of these actually might all be in logic right now. As we get our 3rd medallion. Oh, we don't have any small keys. My bad. We do not have a small key, so all this is out of logic. Nothing. Right side's out of logic.
There's our first GT small, first GT small there.
Yeah, and realistically, you want at least 1 or 2 of those. Probably 2 or 3 would be best, but, getting some early is nice. Yeah, I'm just assuming there's a small key to Ice Palace already available somewhere. Clearly. We get another map to Desert Palace. Not big help. And yeah, Kazen doing the bomb gators, Dunka doing some tempered spins. Both good strats. Getting the job done. And both do remember to hit the switch in Ice Palace.
Good strength from both of them as well. Kaesden's really healthy. Well, 11 hearts here.
Yeah, each of them having a different advantage for this dungeon. Kazen just having a little bit more health, but if anything, I'd prefer to be in Dunka's shoes right now, having Fire Rod and Half Magic, or Fire Rod and Tempered, more so. But Ice Palace isn't our answer either. Nothing here.
We're going to, yet again, leave another chest. Because we cannot get the big chest in here.
Yeah, both runners playing very risky on their decisions right now. Kaesden deciding, you know, I'm gonna do that early pod play as we find more pod keys. Dunka going into Ice Palace right now. Just, you know, they're making plays that could pay out big and could come back to bite them later. And Dunka able to just annihilate Cold Stare there with the Fire Rod. And just for another map.
To a dungeon we've already beaten. But that does give a bigger crystal advantage lead to Dunka.
Yeah, 3-2 for the moment. And really, I think this is starting to look like Pod has something. And the back of Pod is going to be important, and that is going to work out better for Dunka at this rate, just because of the keys he's been able to accumulate. That third key is massive at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, I could see something like Hookshot or something like that being in the back of Pod.
Yeah, whichever item is back there is going to... And here we go. We're going to get to see, you know, some amount of Pod and really some amount more of Palace of Darkness.
Yeah. Now, given Dunka does only have 3, we do not have... Dunka does not have that 4th one that Kaesden did find on the floating island.
Now, after this, I have to assume Kaesden's going to make the play for Skull. Realistically, that's his play.
I feel like we've been trying to will Kaesden
no, we've been
for
trying.
like 30 minutes now. And here goes Dunka into Pod. We'll be very rewarded in this dungeon.
Now, Kaesden being on Master Sword is playing a very... this is a safe way of taking on Cold Stare if you're on low equipment. So what Kaesden's doing is he's hugging this top wall here. This top wall ensures that even if, or even when those icicles fall from the ceiling, they don't break apart. They'll break apart anywhere else in this room, but if you're on that top wall, they will never break apart. And that's a great way to control the early fight. And really well done by Kaesden on Master Sword there.
Getting closer, one touch from one of those puffs and Kaesden would have been down, but does clean it up very well. Again, we are leaving an item in the Ice Palace. Let's see where Kaesden's heading. Okay,
I mean, he's heading for VOO.
It's just a skull play.
This has to be Skull. And yes, Fire Rod is in the middle of Skull Woods.
Alright, Kason going into the front of Skullwoods.
Which this could be interesting. Okay, so this doesn't seem like a big deal, but it does mean Kaesden might get the book first trip in the front here of Skull Woods, and then potentially go and read Pedestal after beating Moth. I know Kazen is not a fan of Ped. He has told me numerous times it's not Ped until it's Ped. But he might do the read.
Yeah. This late into the seed, I would definitely go ahead and read Ped. Especially since I already have the book and I'm coming this way.
Although I will say, Kaesden kind of forgetting that he has the skull big. I'm pretty sure he does have it.
Looks like he does.
Yeah. That was not a misclick from our tracker. Tracker shows that he has the big key, so just kind of forgot about it. And Kazen gets that fire on and is immediately going for Moth.
Just still have that mirror out, so we might see a mirror whenever Kason gets towards the skull head.
He'll take down Moth first, and then worry about the Ped read.
Yep, there it is.
So, and in terms of what this could be and do we care, possible pedestal items at this point would be Desert Big, Hookshot, a TR Small, and TR Big, and Ice Rod. I think that's realistically the only things it can be at this point that we even remotely care.
I would say 50-50 on it being a possible hookshot, because that hookshot could be our way into Mire.
Yeah. Boots are another possibility. That is true.
Yes, but we haven't seen boots yet. So that's what I'm saying.
And if it is boots, it's also a less likely needed item. It's not necessarily required just because of the fact that we have so much in terms of, you know, there's not a lot of checks that boots give us. So it would be a theoretical need. So here we go. Dunka's going to give us some new info as Kaesden takes down the Moth for his 4th crystal. There's our blue cane, so that does mean Spike Cave is available.
Do we see Kason A pick up go ahead and get the big chest, and B head over to see what is on Bumper Ledge?
So first up, we've got the Under the Bridge. The other piece of knowledge here is Dunka didn't find anything in the back of Pod yet. But we've still got the Hammer Yump. $50 there for Kazen. So here we go. Hammer Yump time on Dunka's side. And we are going to get the Ped read, it looks like. Big chest to Pod. Compass to GT. Nothing there.
All right, get your pet hype in chat. Oh my goodness.
There we go, folks. That is a required big key tonight on the pedestal. The big key to Turtle Rock on the Ped. We've got a full-blown Ped seed here, folks.
Oh my goodness. Well, for those who are in the AD Keys tournament, this is AD Keys now.
And this is huge knowledge for Kaesden, okay? Even with the other stuff going on here, that is massive information for Kaesden. He knows now at this point he needs to beat Mire, he needs to beat Eastern, and will need to beat Hera at some point.
Yeah, might as well go ahead and kill Aga as well, just to make this officially AD Keys.
And yep, Kaesden did remember, hey, I've got a big key to this dungeon.
So we're about to possibly go to Eastern, because that's a easy clear dungeon.
Yeah, he's got the big key, and he's got a couple of extra pod smalls. He's going back to pod as well. Kazen realizing how much he needs to finish this seed and saying, I need to start clearing other stuff. I need to clear up a little bit more because I just don't have the equipment to finish as much as I was hoping.
Ether Tablet not giving us anything, but Kaesden now has the knowledge lead.
Yeah.
And that right now is big. Until Dunka feels like he's a funnel to have to go check pad, Dunka's just going to clear out crystal dungeons.
Yeah, and it's not a bad play for Dunka. It's just this compounds what happened in Skull. Okay, so to anybody asking, why didn't Dunka read the ped? First trip into Skull Woods, Dunka didn't have Mire, but also when he got the book out of Skull Woods, he did not have an extra key, so he was soft locked in the back and had to save and quit. Whereas Kaesden, of course, having the Mire and using his keys in the way he did, was able to leave the dungeon afterwards. So Kazen is going to give us the Armos kill, and I believe Armos is in Logic. I forget where the Eastern Palace big key was, though. It might have been on Death Mountain.
I can't remember, but what else? We do have a Fire Rod, so that section is in Logic.
Yeah, it really just comes down to that big key at this point.
All right, we get to see what the basement is today, and it's a small key to Thieves. Oh my god!
Wow!
That could lead Dunka on a bigger goose chase now.
Well, I think this is the last location for both of our runner. Honestly, I don't see either one of them wanting to make the play for Thieves Town Big Chest.
Yes, but Dunka may, if Dunka doesn't check pad first, Dunka may head in there.
This is Kazen's second dip into Eastern Palace. Both of our runners made early Eastern Palace dips, so it will be a second trip for both of them at some point in time. And here we go. Armos now for Kaesden, setting up for the quick kill.
As long as Kaesden doesn't miss a shot, that is a perfect kill on Armos.
Very nicely done for another small key, this time to Skull Woods. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Dunka takes a dip into Turtle Rock at this point.
I mean, Dunka can definitely get a good amount into TR.
Yeah.
Can't access it because all the medallions are had. Does have that Kane, does have Fire Rod, so can get the Fire Rod lock side of TR, but does not have knowledge of where that big key is.
And there's that pod key that Kazen has, so.
And as our runners are covering each other's tracks, give them a follow, BigDunka and Kazen, as they are going through this this first round of tourney. Yeah, they're navigating the sea pretty amazingly in my eyes. Just cause is key sanity, it's fun. There's a big key to the desert.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that one extra key paying out huge for Kaesden again. Like, this is looking rough for Dunka, just from an info standpoint and an item standpoint. I don't know when Dunka goes back for pod now. First of all, and then the pot, or the pedestal knowledge. These are just huge things. Race is far from over, of course, with just how much we still have left. It's just this early info, these little advantages for Kazen keep giving him little nudges ahead. In terms of what we need to finish this seed, yeah, Kazen needs a hookshot.
And Ice Rod.
And Ice Rod. After that, he's in go.
Harmless Hellway was the Desert Palace big key.
Yep. One of the very, very required keys to beat this game.
And it does look like that is exactly where Kazen is heading right now, is to go into Desert.
Yeah, Kazen I don't think has even dipped Desert Palace yet, so for him this is obvious. You know, this is your first choice. This is the full clearable dungeon. Let's do it. Of course, Kazen's still on a little bit of a sword disadvantage, not having done purple chest for the tempered sword. But maybe he tries to merge that later with a Bombos tablet.
Yeah, get that, and both of those right before you head into Swamp.
Yeah, I like that idea. Hopefully you can find a hookshot before then, because nobody likes dipping a hookless Swamp Palace.
That is true. Dunka remembering not having hookshot to go down instead of going up on this rail.
Yeah, and we've all made this mistake, taking the top route without a hookshot. It does not feel good. So what's going to happen here? Dunka does have some keys to get through Palace of Darkness. Or, I mean, sorry, Turtle Rock. There's our Ice Palace big key. All these orphan checks are going to be a problem later, though.
I mean, we might as well say that each one of those orphan checks is now another fetch quest at this point.
Right? And how many fetch quests do we have? For Kaesden, there is going to be a Thieves Town big chest, an Ice Palace big chest, a Pod big key chest. For Dunka...
Let me stop you right there. Dunka just found Hookshot.
Well, there we go. And unfortunately for Kaesden, that's something he could have gotten that first trip up the mountain. For Kaesden at this point, I think he might do Purple Chest and Bombos Tablet before going for Turtle Rock with his 3 smalls. He knows what the big key to this dungeon is, or to that dungeon is on the ped, but even then, that's still a lot of checks in logic for him. Yeah, I see chat kind of discussing, you know, should Dunka have left after getting Hookshot? I'm in agreement with chat on this one. You don't, like, for Dunka, you don't know where TR Big is, you don't know where Ice Rod is. I think you full clear that the Hookshot cave just in case it had what you were looking for to clear the dungeon. You know,
I could also see Dunka go ahead and getting the Mimic Cave while up here.
And I agree completely with the Mimic Cave play. I understand the desire to hit Hookshot first. I mean, Hookshot is our ticket into Misery Mire now.
Given, Duncan doesn't know that Mire's required.
And yeah, this is the problem, is that now that Dunka's mirroring here for Mimic Cave, him getting back to Hookshot Cave is going to be just that much slower of a check now. And yep, here we go. Kazen heading back up the mountain. So he's looking at TR and Bombos and possibly even Hera Basement.
Oh, are you Lamp?
The greatest location of Lamp in the game.
I know that's logical, but I rarely expect it to be there.
Yeah, that's always a classic location for the Lamp. Nobody likes it, but it's a good laugh when it happens. Dunka is going back in that Dark World portal, gonna head for Hookshot Cave next.
Do we see Duncan possibly getting a health refill somehow and going to do Spot Cave?
He's got Burna.
Yep, but he's only at 4 hearts as well. So he's going to have to... Yeah.
And yeah, chat pointing out, Kazen might not get that lamp. I think for Kazen at this point, you know, you check Turtle Rock, you get your hook shot. He's going to mirror probably immediately and go, let me check Hookshot Cave. If Ice Rod's in Hookshot Cave, he doesn't touch TR. He doesn't touch most of the other dungeons. Maybe only the obvious chest, hoping for a sword. He'll miss the purple chest sword, guaranteed.
Oh, there's a health refill for Dunka.
There's a GT small.
Hey, 2 is optimal for GT.
And a map to ice. So no ice rod available there.
Also, saving and quitting out, not going to Spot Cave.
Did we miss Dunka do it earlier, possibly?
I don't believe so. Dude, Kason going straight to that hook shot. And Dunka heading straight to Swamp.
Understandable play from both sides. Kazen getting that hook shot and saying, nope, we're going to at least do right side. We'll see if he continues deeper. He will get to do the fast strats for torches, though.
Yes. Now, whenever Kason does get out of here, I wonder if Kason will do as we were talking about and get purple chest and then go up, or just head straight into Swamp. We do see Dunka going straight into Swamp, not even caring about Bombo's Bombo's tablet yet.
So here we go. Kazen getting that 20 and then the big key to Ice Palace. He gets that magic, is going to mirror out. He's looking at Hookshot Cave for sure. I think at this point he is saying, I'm not dipping further into TR. I can get my other pendants. Kazen is going to beat Moldorm as well here. I have to believe. So in terms of just no mode right now, we're only missing an Ice Rod. And that Ice Rod can be anywhere. And the sad part is we just have so many spots it can be. GT Big Key is guaranteed in GT.
Now, we'll say... Oh, no, we're heading to Spike.
Kaesden, what about Hera? Kaesden?
Green pendant required Hera.
Yeah, I mean, you have to do it. We need that pendant.
You may want Big Key first to just make sure you check all the checks in there.
Yeah, but he skipped the Thieves' basement, so that's why I'm curious on this one. But it looks like I spoke too soon. Kazen is just going right back up the mountain. And yeah, that is the 6th pod small for Kaesden.
And we are also at bottle percent now for Dunka. It does look like Kazen is doing it the opposite way of what we were thinking.
Yeah, I'd be curious to wonder if maybe he just forgot momentarily that he needed to do Hera, or was hoping for the big key. I could see either being a reasonable assumption on this one.
Yeah, especially with not wanting to leave an extra check down there. We are going to see a bomb setup just because they'll pick up the heart, just because no boots.
Yeah, and I know, well, I actually know Kazen prefers the Philly pot setup. While I think he does do some bomb or boot setup, he definitely prefers this version of Harapot, so. And unless we missed it, Kazen, I don't think you have a big key for this dungeon.
No, I don't believe so. And I think Kazen just realized it, and is now heading to fight Moldorm.
Meanwhile, Dunka is going to give us left side swamp, so we're going to find out if anything's here. Just 50 rupees on the first check. And Dunka's looking for a lot more in many ways, so he's going to go for a bit more of a full clear. Skullwood, small. So left side swamp, really skippable on this one. But down goes Moldorm for Kaesden. That'll be his second pendant. And just a compass on Moldorm.
More importantly, a green pendant, which could have something as well. It could even be an ice rod.
It could. So where is Kaesden off to next?
Oh, if they're go ahead and turn in that green pendant. Nope, going on into Mire. We are going to prioritize, getting that big key.
Yep. And realistically, there's definitely some checks in these dungeons that are very straightforward. Mire routes very nicely. We'll see if he does all of Mire. Maybe he's thinking if I full clear Mire, maybe I don't full clear Swamp. Dunka has to watch out a little bit, down to 2.5, now will be 3.5 hearts, but does get blue mail.
Yeah, that blue mail is going to be very important. Especially, being at 3.5 hearts.
Yeah, Argus is scary on green mail.
And there's our ice rod.
Wow, right in the path. So Kaesden can skip. Like, that's an obvious check for Kaesden. There's no way he misses this if he goes to Swamp Palace after this. So this is looking pretty nice for Kaesden right now. Going to be at a sword disadvantage. I doubt he gets purple chest at this point. So for him, definitely the hope is to find something, whether it's silvers or tempered along the way.
Yeah. I mean, possibly Kaesden could just pull ped and then loop that into purple chest and bomb Boast Medallion and go ahead and beat Swamp.
Yeah, there's definitely a chance of it. I have my doubts that Kaesden plays that conservatively at this point. But
yeah, especially if we find an item in Mire, then yeah, we're not seeing. If we see one of those two, sword or silvers, yeah, Kaesden's not doing that. But very clean Argus fight from Dunka.
Heading into Bombo's tablet next. And realistically for Dunka, I think there's another sword. So that is a great situation for Kaesden now. Has tempered sword. He's got to be feeling pretty confident now.
Yeah, you do not want to do this boss with just tippers or master sword. You do not want to fight Vinny with Master Sword.
So Kazen likely will find Blue Mail in Swamp, will find Ice Rod in Swamp to put him into go mode. He will, I have to assume, miss the lamp. Hyrule Castle small key there on the Mire Bridge. But yeah, I don't think he finds the mirror at this, or sorry, the lamp at this point. And here we go. The most adventurous portion of Misery Mire is the Dark Mire. Does get that first room. Nicely done.
Yeah, that first room is the worst.
Yep, and he gets through it very nicely. Still has 10 hearts. I think he's got a goo. He's got at least a green goo, it looks like.
Yeah, I believe Kazen does have a green goo. We are in the long room with the crystal. Get that good.
Nicely done. Dunka gonna give us that Pyramid Fairy check as well. We know that unfortunately this time it is nothing. The one thing I will point out is Kazen only has 2 GT keys. It's fine. You can do all the checks and get the big key and clear the dungeon with only 2. He'll just have to have a very specific route to do it. And Kazen's got the Cane of Burna ready. He is not risking this fight.
Ooh, we did not. I don't believe we saw this from Kazen.
No, we did.
The blue fairy, the
Yeah.
blue goo from.
Oh,
okay.
it was. We didn't have a bottle at that point, so we didn't see it was blue goose.
Yeah, it's blue goose.
Interesting. But Kazen takes down Vitreous. Very clean fight.
And we now have all of our pendants in hand. Get your ped hype in chat.
Yeah, we know that we need it, and you're going to get to see it tonight. Pedestal for the TR Big Key. Of course, Kazen is instead going to hit Swamp Palace first, hoping, he wants to know what situation he's in. Do I need to visit Saha? Do I need to consider Purple Chest or Bombos Tablet? Do I need to consider any of the orphan checks I have at this point? And he's just going to make sure that's not the case by clearing out Swamp first.
Yeah, which he will be rewarded by getting that Ice Rod in there.
Yep.
Which does cover our loose ends. So Kazen, objectively making the good play. Go ahead and check in Swamp.
Agreed. This is the right play. I have to believe he skips left side. He's down to 1 item for go mode or for no mode. So if Kazen does left side, I'd be really surprised. And yes, sorry, it is most likely mode. It is 21 out of 22. It's Schrodinger's go mode, whatever you want to call it. We're just going to assume that boots are not required.
Unless it's what, the 6% chance that it is?
Yeah. I think it's less than 6. It's probably like a 4 something percent, 4 point something something something.
4.6.
4.6%. Thank you, chat. Meanwhile, Dunka into Misery Mire. I wonder if we get the full clear from him as well. We didn't see the cutscene chest from Kaesden. Maybe Dunka checks it.
Looks like Dunka is heading down to cutscene. But of course, Kazen had a whole lot more on his plate than no checking cutscene because he knows he's down. he knew where Big Key for Thieves or for TR was. It was just down to needing Ice Rod.
So Kaesden does do the wraparound chest here first.
Yeah, hit spot percent. Don't blame Kazen for doing that. This cause is not left side.
Yeah. That's a quick enough check. He is going to skip left side, though.
We are going to see a diver down from Kazen.
Yeah, we did not from Dunka. Doesn't make a big difference overall. So just different ways of really approaching the dungeon. Nicely done with that bomb diver down. There's the blue mail now for Kaesden. I'm sure he feels really comfortable having that. And there we go at 1 hour, 30 minutes, and about 16 seconds. Kaesden is in GT mode with a big question mark over those boots. Meanwhile, Dunka finds his butter sword.
Yeah, that's going to make a little bit of difference, not much.
Realistically, I expect both of our runners tonight feel pretty comfortable with 1-in-1 Ganon strats. So it's not a big advantage. There's definitely a few things you can do better with a butter sword, but not enough to really change some of the dynamics of this race right now.
I think the biggest dynamic would be, other than what we currently have right now, would be one of our runners finding silvers, the other not.
And even that's not going to change much, I would think. Kazen, though, going just wild there with Ice Rod on Argus. Very nice kill. That is crystal number 6 for Kaesden. He's got 6 crystals, 3 pendants. And you know what that means? We're heading to the pedestal to get that Ice Rod.
Yeah, there's no need to check anything else for Kazen. Kazen's just going to go straight there, pull that big key from Ped, and go and finish up TR. So again, get those Ped hypes in chat as we have Kazen going to pull Ped.
And yes, at this point, Dunka is unaware of the PED requirement. One of the advantages that Kazen was able to accrue here was having Mire when he beat Mothula. And that was, so when he got that book off of the front of Skull Woods, he could do both the PED check and beat Moth together. So that's when he found out that the big key to TR was here. So that is one of the reasons we have this situation. And there we go. Big key to Turtle Rock for Kaesden. And yeah, I'm not sure, if Ped is on Dunka's radar much yet. We're still out a Terra Big Key. He's also out a Desert Palace Big Key. And the big issue for Dunka really is just the orphan checks that are out there. I would not be shocked to see him revisit a dungeon soon.
Yeah, especially if it's in one of those orphan checks. One of those expanded fetch quests, as we
get. And here's the first one for Dunka. Has 5 pod smalls. He's going back to Palace of Darkness. We do know this is a big piece of information for Dunka. He's gonna get his Desert Palace Big Key. He could find something to really help, like maybe there's the boots. But even the boots aren't really gonna do much at this point. It really would only help if this is a GT big key required on Torch. And yeah, as pointed out in chat, this will probably be Eastern Palace as well. So he's going to get as many checks as possible here.
Us, Ross, Kaesden, well, not that Kaesden has any reason to, but Kaesden did not turn in that green pendant.
Well, Dunka will not either, probably. Although, if he doesn't read Ped, he could do green pendant turn in before Pedestal. Hard to say. But Kaesden back into Turtle Rock for his second trip. And the big key to Tower of Hera was in the vanilla big key chest of Palace of Darkness. So there's the Ped logic.
Oh no.
Yeah, that one's a rough one.
That's just evil.
And I think the worst part here for Dunka is, you know, also the fact that he knows he needs two big keys, and you see that, and it's one that you don't want. Okay, so there's the finish of Pod for Dunka. He's going to mirror here at Palace of Darkness, and he's not going to go into Eastern. Understandable at this point. He's looking at this saying, that's one of my go mode items. Let's beat the dungeon.
Yeah, very understandable. Something I'm noticing, neither one of our runners are risking that fourth small key in TR to go check the bridge or the lava chest. There we go.
I mean, for Kazen, it's understandable. And pretty much in a rule of keys players, they'll tell you is do not open that door. Unless you've got 4 or your safe's coming to key, do not open that door. And as we predicted, Kazen is not going to get the lamp out of Mimic Cave. He is just going straight for Trinex. I don't even think we're checking Laser Bridge.
Yeah, skipping all the chests so far now, yeah, just heading straight.
Yeah, and if it turns out that GT Big Key is on the torch, I think the play for Kazen is, you know, clear out the basement and then hit up Turtle Rock again. But over on BigDunka's side, we got a Land Mollusk kill and a very clean one at that. Beautiful work with the Fire Rod. Meanwhile, Kazen into Trinex. After that Trinex kill, we're going to be heading towards Ganon's Tower. And of course, that means we're looking for Ganon's Tower Big Key somewhere in the tower. And we do like to play a game. So start getting those numbers in chat because Kazen is going to quickly make his way over to Ganon's Tower. 1 to 22. Where is it?
I'm curious how many 1s or 3s there will be.
Right? I think a lot of people are hoping for that 1 or 3 play.
Oh, and Red Mel. We get a Red Mel from Trinex, and also, more importantly, our 7th crystal.
Yeah, I see a lot of people wishing on like an early or a torch kind of deal. In terms of how you route this, because of the fact you only have 2 keys, technically you should be doing Hope, Compass, pick up the small key under the pot, and then go full left. That way you'll have enough keys to do every check in Ganon's Tower.
So that should be 7.
Yeah, so Torch should be 7 if he does what I would, in my personal opinion, would call proper routing with this number of keys. And I mean, definitely take this with the hugest grain of salt.
Yep, heading right.
Yep, here we go. So Hope Room first.
Check number 1 is $20. Check number 2, some bombs, and we are continuing on right. Chat, why you gotta be so mean?
I mean, I know Kazen wants boots. It just makes life in GT that much better.
Yes, it does. Yes, indeed it does. On the big chest of Hera was the
A map.
Map to Hera.
Compass Room gives us just some more non-required items. So here we go. Kazen is going to pull that small key out of the pot and then begin on the left side. So pretty much that route I mentioned, that's what we're seeing tonight. And here we go. Here comes that vicious number 7. Is it on the Torch? It is not. We are officially in go mode.
So, Kazen, go ahead and clearing out the Stalfos room in here. Got some bombs, got $20. Fetch quest and small key to. Okay, there's our fourth, or yeah, our third.
Yeah, our third GT small.
Oh my goodness. There's a lot of keys in the seed.
Yeah. You know, we said that it was only the GT big key that was vanilla. It turns out one of the GT small keys just said, "No, I'm in the dungeon."
It's like, remember me? I'm a small key in this dungeon.
This is just a key sanity variant. But this specific seed had TR big key on the pedestal.
Hey, Das Boots.
There we go, the boots. And yep, Dunka is going to turn in that green pendant first. Or do green pendant with Eastern together, so.
Oh, there it is. The big key to small. Up there it is. The big key to this dungeon. There we go.
Check number 17, folks.
And we are running up the tower. Bugnet. Bugnet from Saha.
Oh, man. You know, that's the one thing you really hate about this mode, especially is when there's a big key not required in GT, and you see it and you're like, yes! No!
Yes, 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 no.
Yes, 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 no. Oh, terrible.
Chad is being evil again. Imagine if Swamp Big was Torch and the Pooch were in there. Or where they were. Alright, but we just got through the gauntlet. We are heading to fight Lammo 2.
Yeah, and with that Fire Rod and Half Magic, this is going to be straight up, just with Kazen's equipment, this is straight up NMG at this point. And Kazen very much practiced on this, so he's in a comfort zone right now finishing this out.
I would say this is better than NMG because we have Half Magic and Red Metal. So Kazen should feel really good about this right now. But Dunka clearing out Eastern.
Yeah, with the number of tough locations in this seed, between the Harmless Hellway having our Desert Big, between the Pedestal having the TR Big Key, and a few other really bad gotcha locations, you gotta feel like, I think if you're in Kazen shoes here, you're feeling decent. Dunka, however, probably on the opposite end, going, where is this key? Where is this key? I've hit pretty much everything. And wow, Kazen just deciding. I'm shocked that Kazen actually did that, Jack.
I am as well.
I didn't think we were going to get to see a pull of a mini Helma chest because he was in perfectly fine go mode. And he still goes and opens a chest to find silvers.
Dunka is heading the pad. Get those pad hypes in chat for Dunka as he's getting ready to get that required big key to TR.
Yeah, I mean, with how late the boots are and you're still on Aga 2, you're pretty much doing almost all dungeons of this seed, almost no boots, and you're only at about a 146 in Aga 2. I think that's a really brisk time for this mode. Nice triple there.
Nice triple.
2-3-1 on Aga 2 for Kaesden.
23 is number 1.
Meanwhile, Dunka heading towards Turtle Rock, so he'll have a date with Trinex before heading on to Ganon's Tower. Yeah, Dunka's route for the most of the seed had been very efficient. Definitely some execution advantages as well as equipment advantages that really made a difference. Unfortunately, it looks like Kaesden does miss the 1-1, but Ganon giving a nice position here for phase 2 up in the top left corner.
Yeah, Kaesden just got a bit of a hug there while setting up all that trident spin, but does recover quite nicely. One more tile to go, and then we are in phase 4 and shooting arrows into this pig and skewering, making some bacon. There's our first shot. Get the torch glitch. 2 more shots
Very
to
nicely
go.
done.
Wow, how did Kaesden not get hit by that guy?
Really cutting it close there. But yeah, if we had to say a big difference in the end of this race, I think the fact that Kaesden didn't go to Skull Woods without Mire is possibly what made the biggest difference here. Crazily enough, but there we go. Get your GGs in chat for Kazen winning this race today with a 148.33 for his first win in the group stages as the first match of Group A. Meanwhile, Dunka going to throw in the towel on this one. He's in go mode. Can't blame him for deciding to throw a forfeit at this point. GG's to both of our runners. Great race. Great way to start off the Group A play here. And we will see if we can get both of them in for an interview. As we are now joined by Kaesden. GG.
Hey, GG.
So Kaesden, it's a pet seed until it's not. Or it's not a pet seed until it is. Which one is it?
It's never pet until it is. But, you know, in Keysanity, if I have a book and I'm doing Skull Woods in the Mire, I'm going to check it every time. Even in Open, I'd probably check it. But I do tend to avoid pet most of the time.
Yeah, and Jess and I were just talking about that. And that was the biggest difference between yours and Dunka's route. Dunka had the item advantage, but the routing advantage in Skull Woods gave you the knowledge of that TR Big being on pet, and that just made the big difference.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was just like, well, I guess we just rush everything now because we have to do the whole game. So it's hard to kind of decide, like, do I full clear all the pendants or do I just get what I need and move on, you know?
Yeah, and this kind of goes to the question, you know, I said this towards the end, is just you not going to Skull immediately after Thieves Town kind of, you know, is what gave you that ability to find that out. Do you want to just talk about not going to Skull there?
I had Thieves Town available. Pod, I had decided I wanted to go kill the boss, and I'd just go in the front, get the couple items that were in Logic. I think I had 2 keys at that time. And like, if I have to go back later, it's not that bad, but I did just get access to Pyramid Ferry, and it just gave me some options for routing that I really liked. So I just decided, you know, Skull Woods can wait. It's not going anywhere. And I was, you know, kind of hoping to find a Fire Rod before I went there, but having a Fire Rod in there kind of made that moot.
Yeah, we figured as soon as you got Cane of Samaria, it would have made a lot of sense to, you know, hit Skull. It makes it a lot easier, especially with that and a mirror.
Yeah.
You do know where your 4th sword is, by the way.
Oh, where's that?
Purple chest.
Oh, fun.
So
that would have been nice to have if I had done that. Just didn't. I don't like purple chest. It takes so long.
Yeah. It would have been a nice little tool for Ice. You were on Master Sword for that Cold Stare fight compared to Dunka on Fire Rod and Tempered Sword.
That's probably a significant difference in how long the fight took. He's probably done in about 6 seconds, and I'm standing there dodging to save my life.
Oh, and your lamp, by the way, was Mimic Cave.
Oh, of course it was.
Of course.
Yeah, I'd never getting that.
Nope. For
I think
you,
the only way I get that is if the Ice Rod had been in TR, then I probably would have got it, but I figured I'll just go clear the other dungeon first. When I got to the front, I got hooked. I was like, I'll finish clearing this and right side, but then I'm leaving.
Yeah, and we did get to see one of the other orphan's checks. The Pod Big Chest was your Hera Big Key.
Hera Big Key, okay.
Yeah, so that's where that was, to put Tower of Hera into Logic.
Yeah, you could have had some swag strats if you had turned.
The vanilla Big Key chest, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that was another thing I hate Pod for that reason. When you have to make that choice between vanilla Big Key and Harmless Hellway, and I lucked out, honestly. I chose right. I don't know that there's a right or wrong decision there. I chose what I chose. So.
Yeah, it's at that point it's a gut feeling with which one of those you check. Definitely a gut feeling.
It's a gut feeling. Also, I figured if I have to go back in, the vanilla big key chest is closer to the front, so it'd be a little bit faster as a double dip than having to go all the way to the back for Harmless Hellway. So I tend to pick Harmless Hellway usually, but I've been burned by both, so there's never a right or wrong answer.
Yeah, overall thoughts on the seed before we, I guess, get out of here for tonight.
It was gross. Not a fan. That was a yeah, eventually. I was kind of glad to see them in GT. Because like, well, at least I didn't leave them in one of several orphans I had left behind. And like, because if I'd left them down there, like, Dunka could have them for 10, 20, 30 plus minutes, depending where they were. And just, that never feels good. But finding them in GT kind of made that fear completely go away.
Yeah, definitely don't read Shaq's theories about boots and big key for GT. Just don't.
I've heard all sorts of stuff, but if I'm in go mode otherwise, I just pretend the torch doesn't exist. Hope for the best.
Oh no, it was about boost in GT and big key being on torch.
Oh.
It was the worst. Also, mini helmet room for the silvers? What?
I mean, there wasn't a lot left. It can't hurt to check, a couple checks along the way. If they turn up, I save a lot of time. So just hookshot up to them, grab the 2 chests. I got silvers in the first one, so don't even bother with the others.
But yeah, very nice win to start group play for you, Kazen. I did peruse the race room a little bit. It looks like you and Dunka have kind of set a rough time estimate for game 2.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be next week at 9 Eastern instead of 8:30. Just want to push it back a little bit, so it's not quite as immediately after work, just so I have a little bit of time to relax before starting the race, because this was a little tight, but
sure. And then any races scheduled with Wall Kicks or Chelsea?
Not yet. I need to get them scheduled soon. But I don't have anything on the schedule yet. Yeah, we got time, but there's also a lot of games to play. So
yeah, but enjoy this win, top of the division for right now. Again, GG to you, Kasen. Chat, give Kasen and BigDunka a follow if you're not already. You see their level of gameplay, please give them a follow, support them on their individual channels. Thanks to Jesse for commentating this race with me. Thanks to our tracker at Scott G. Keep clicking the buttons, making sure that we are on track, because there's a lot of keys in this game.
Yeah, no, and I have to point this out because this is like a little detail that is really cool. Scott doing an amazing job individually tracking the runner's knowledge. You might not notice it, but throughout the race, if Dunka had checked a map and Kaesden hadn't, Scott was actually individually tracking per runner, and that is cool info to have.
It is very cool.
Yeah, so
that is not easy to do.
No.
It's hard enough as a runner to keep track of my own info, and props to trackers for doing that. That's crazy.
But with that, we are going to call it a night here on SpeedGaming 4. I believe we have a race that just got started as well.
Want to say so.
Yeah, over on
about 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, over on ALTTP Randomizer, we do have a group race in Group AB between Coin Chaser and F. Coughlin. So there is still some more Link to the Past Randomizer action going on as part of the main tourney. And of course, more speed gaming content across the channels. I do see a Link or a Zelda 1 randomizer race looks like happening over on Speed Gaming 6 right now. So And of course, over the next 2.5 weeks, we are going to have tons and tons and tons of races as part of the group stages of this main tournament. So do be sure to check those out. But I believe that does it for us tonight. I've been Radical Sniper 99, and I've been joined by Mocha Jones. It has been quite the pleasure.
Oh, yes, it's been a pleasure, and we will see y'all next time, Rando fans. Later.